Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called, What is Cat Scratch Disease, also known as cat scratch fever? In today's video, we're going to talk about what it is, what causes it, what the symptoms are, and how to prevent it. And by the way, if you're here checking into this, and if this is a concern of yours because your cat is scratching you a lot or scratching people a lot, maybe you have small children in the house and you're concerned about the cat scratching, I am going to give you some resources to help you out with that as well, as far as getting your cat to stop scratching. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. If you've not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own the website PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and we are going to use this article called What is Cat Scratch Disease to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this article in the description box, and I'm also going to give you a link to some additional resources in the description box. Now, again, if you've not been here before, I do several videos a month all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you have a pet that you would like to receive continuous help with, please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. And please go ahead and give the video a like if you find it helpful, and share the channel with your friends and family who have a cat or a dog, because they may appreciate getting this kind of information as well. So again, thanks so much for tuning in. Now, what is cat scratch disease? Cat scratch disease, also known as cat scratch fever, is a bacterial infection spread by cats. You can get this if an infected cat licks one of your wounds, like an open wound, or if a cat bites you or scratches you so hard that they break the skin. That's how you can get it. The risk is increased with kittens because they tend to scratch more. How do cats get infected to begin with? Cat scratch disease is caused by a bacterium called Bartonella hensleyi. Nearly half of all cats carry this at some point in their lives, and most show no signs of illness. Kittens are more likely to have it, and they're more likely to spread it because they're more likely to scratch and bite when they're little. Now, how do they get infected with Bartonella hensleyi? Most commonly from flea bites, flea droppings, or by fighting with, in other words, getting bitten by and scratched by another cat who is infected, or any animal who is infected. What are the symptoms of cat scratch disease? Common symptoms include a cat scratch or bite that gets red or swollen, does not heal, or gets worse. Swollen or painful glands under your arms if you were scratched on your arms or your hands, or in the groin if you were scratched on your legs or on your feet. If you have flu-like symptoms like headache, fatigue, joint pain, decreased appetite or fever, or if you have a body rash. Now, these symptoms can appear anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks from the time that you got the cat scratch. Okay, so if the cat bit you a week ago and now all of a sudden you don't feel good, just if your cat scratches you or bites you to the point where he draws blood, he breaks the skin, then you should be kind of making a note of how you're feeling, okay? Just to make sure you're not having any of these symptoms. Now, how to treat cat scratches. If your cat scratches or bites you hard enough to break the skin, wash the area well with soap and water right away. Get rid of the bacteria the best you can right away from washing it with soap and water. And if you develop any of the symptoms that we just talked about, call your doctor, okay? Look at this little scratchy kitten. For those of you who have ever owned a kitten, oh, those little claws hurt. Their little teeth, too. Oh, my God, they're like extra sharp. This is just like a little scratchy kitten. It's really cute. How to prevent cat scratch disease. First of all, trim your cat's nails regularly. They're not going to want to scratch so much if their nails aren't too long. Don't allow your cat to lick your wounds. Don't play rough with your cat because it's going to encourage him to bite and scratch. Again, wash cat bites or scratches with soap and water right away. Wash your hands with soap and water after playing with your cat, especially if you're around young children, elderly people, or people who would have a weakened or compromised immune system. Don't pet or touch stray or feral cats, and control fleas. Since that's the most common way that cats can get infected with this bacteria, the best thing you can do is control fleas. I'm going to give you a link to my video of how to get rid of fleas and how to prevent them. I'll give you the link for that in the description box. Also, keep your cat indoors to decrease their chances of getting fleas or coming into contact with any potentially infected cats or other animals. Your cat's less likely to get infected with this if they're indoors, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. How to stop your cat from scratching you. Now, scratching is an important part of a cat's health and well-being. You're not going to stop your cat from scratching things. It's part of their instincts, okay? But it is important for you to teach your cat where and what to scratch, and also for you to learn how to stop cat scratching. So here are some tips. I'm going to give you some resources here. Everything's going to be in the description box. First, again, trim your cat's nails often. Provide a scratching pad or a scratching post. I'm going to give you a link to those on Amazon. The difference between a scratching post and a scratching pad is a scratching post is vertical, it's a vertical post, and a scratching pad is horizontal. If you have one or the other and your cat's not interested, you might want to try buying the other, because they do actually have a preference. Some cats like to scratch on the vertical post, some cats prefer to scratch on a pad. You might also watch my video, How to Stop a Cat from Scratching Furniture, because that contains helpful tips about why cats scratch and what you can do to stop it, okay? Make sure that your cat is getting enough exercise, enough attention, enough playtime, and enough mental stimulation. And again, these are ways to keep your cat from scratching people to begin with. You may want to check out my video, How to Keep an Indoor Cat Happy. That's got a lot of tips for just keeping your cat occupied so that they're happy, they're content, they're not scratching, they're not biting, they're not howling, you know, they're not having anxiety, all those sorts of things. Also, consider whether your cat is anxious, nervous, or upset. I'm going to give you a link to my video. I think it's called Why Is My Cat a Nervous Wreck? And it goes over 10 things that stress your cat out. Again, if your cat's biting, if they're scratching, they might be having some stress, they might be having some anxiety, and I think that video will give you some help as to figure out why, okay? You might also get helpful tips from keeping your cat from biting and scratching with my video, How to Train Your Cat to Stop Biting. Also in the description box, I'm going to give you a video I did fairly recently about how to get a kitten to stop biting. So watch either one or both of those. And again, even though they're talking about biting, if a cat is scratching a lot, it's going to be most likely for the same kind of reasons that they're biting. Okay, so go ahead and take advantage of all these resources that I'm giving you, because you're going to learn a lot more about your cat in the meantime, and you're going to be able to prevent scratching to begin with, okay? Now, I am glad that you know about this. I'm glad that you found out that cat scratch fever and cat scratch disease exists, and I'm glad that you're educating yourself on what to do about it and how to prevent it. Now, this is especially important if you have a new kitten, because you know they're gonna scratch a lot, or if you've adopted a feral or a stray cat, again, because a feral or a stray cat, they've been out, they could very well be exposed and infected with this. It's also important to know that small children, elderly people, and people with a compromised immune system are more at risk of getting cat scratch fever, and for some it can be serious. So if you are, or anybody in your home, if you are having those symptoms, please call the doctor. Don't put it off, because it's rare, but for some people it can become a serious health issue. Also, if you have an outdoor cat or a cat that goes outside but also lives inside, please be aware that you don't know where that cat has been, okay? Just be aware that you don't know where they've been, you don't know what they've come in contact with, you don't know if they've had any sort of contact with another animal, you don't know if they just ate a mouse that was infected. Do you see what I mean? If they're outside, you don't really know where they've been, so watch the video, Prevent the Fleas. wash their cat beds and blankets regularly, and make it your family's habit to wash your hands after you're done handling or playing with the cat. Okay, just keep it in mind that this thing exists, and if your cat is an outdoor cat, he's more likely to get it. And the best thing that everybody can do is keep things clean. Everybody's washing their hands, regularly. And if anybody gets scratched or bitten, to wash it with soap and water immediately, and then pay attention for possible symptoms. And if anybody gets the symptoms, call your doctor. Okay. Now, if you do happen to need more help with your cat's behavior, I am going to recommend a good source for cat training. It's called Complete Cat Training Guide. It's created by kingdomofpets.com, and it's an ebook. And it has step-by-step instructions that cover 25 cat behavioral issues. So whatever your issue is with your cat, it's very likely that this ebook is going to give you the solution. It is downloadable, so you keep it, you have it forever. And it's $37, and it comes with a money-back guarantee. So if that's something that you feel like you need help with, go ahead and get that, okay? I hope that I have helped you with this. If you've not been here before, I donate to animal charities. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job, and I donate 10% of all of the commissions I earn on the website and also this YouTube channel to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So just a couple of things before we go. In the description box, I'm going to give you a link to the article that we just used for this video. I'm going to give you a link to all those extra videos, okay? I'm also going to give you a link to go ahead and subscribe to my Cat Lovers email list. If you subscribe to that about once a week or so, you will get an email from peoplelovinganimals.com all about the care and health and training of cats. So I think that you'll find it quite useful. If at any time you don't, you can always unsubscribe. And speaking of subscribing, if you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It helps our channel to grow. Please give the video a like. That also helps the channel to grow. And again, please share this with your friends and family who have a cat or a dog. Again, I hope I've helped you with this issue. If you have any questions or comments, please drop a comment below. I would love to hear what you think and what your questions are. Again, thanks so much. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.